Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we are going to do a review for your test. I printed out what the questions look like on paper from what they're going to look like in Wizer.Me, and I'm going to do the problems for you. I will also add the paper copy in a link to the calendar, so if you want to print it out to do the problems, that is fine, but you still will have to put the answers in the Wizer.Me link. And in Zoom, we'll discuss whether or not it's helpful to do it this way, and then I can do the same thing for the test tomorrow, where I can have a paper copy for you to write on, and then you'll enter the work into the Wizer.Me program. And so let's begin. Question 1 looks like this. It says, solve for Q. Now, one of these is the answer. So to undo this problem, you're going to subtract 15 from both sides of the equation. And when you do that, I'm just going to rewrite the question. Minus 15, minus 15. Remember, that removes the 15, leaves only the variable, and 43 minus 15 will be 28. So the answer choice is C. You would click on C. Show your work on a piece of paper to make sure you're doing them correctly. Question number 2. To undo subtraction, you're going to add. So this says x minus 22 equals 28. So if it asked you what will undo that? Addition. And you're going to add 22 to both sides of the equation. You end up with x equals 50. And there's the answer choice right there. Now, question number 3, the question is on this side and the answers are on the other side. So let's just go ahead and solve this. So I have 5 equals, that says P divided by 9. To undo dividing by 9, you're going to multiply each side by 9. That cancels it out, and you end up with 45 equals P. Now let's see when I turn the page if that's one of our choices. Oh, I didn't read the question carefully. It says, which operation would you use to solve the following? Well, that's easy. I used multiplication here. What did I do to solve this? It's multiplication. All right. So you will click the multiplication sign. To solve for this, it was multiplication. Now, these are not the exact questions on your test, so you're going to have to read carefully to make sure. Here, solve for x. This says 7 times x equals 49. What will undo multiplying by 7? Why dividing by 7? And we show division with the fraction bar. Okay, this is division, and you end up with x equals 7, and there's the answer choice. In number 5, this says P minus 4 equals 36. What is the operation to undo subtracting 4? Adding 4. So you're going to add 4 to both sides of the equal sign, and end up with P equals 40. And yes, that is a choice there. Now let's go to number 6. In problem number 6, it says 5 3/10 x equals 53. That says 5 3/10 times x equals 53. The operation to undo multiplication is division. X equals. Now 53 goes in the box, 5.3 outside the box. Let me just move this over. Move it 1. There's not one, so you make it appear. Move it 1 place. Put it up and put a 0 in the empty spot. Now it says 530 divided by 53, and the answer is going to be 10. All right, and that is a choice for number 6. Now let's go on to the next problem, number 7. In number 7, it says solve for n. Write your answer. So you will have 11 plus n equals 19. To solve for this, subtract 11, n equals 8. All right, so n equals 8 is your answer. If there's room to show your work, you can show your work there too. Now, in number 8, it states, in the following equation, solve for x. This says x minus 10 and 8/10 equals 9 and 4/10. To undo subtraction, you're going to add 10 and 8/10. You might be thinking, how do I know which number to add or subtract? It's always what's hanging out with the variable, because the variable has to be by itself. Now you'll get a 2, carry a 1, and the answer is 20 and 2/10. B. Number 9. In the following equation, solve for y. Let's put a little star by this one. This says 2/9 times y equals 8/3. Now to solve this one, we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 2/9, which will be 9/2. All right, cancel, 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 cancel. That's what we want to do. Y equals 2 divides 2 once, 2 divides 8 4 times. 3 divides 3 once, 3 divides 9 3 times, and you end up with the answer y equals 12. Choice D. Let's go on to question number 10. In question 10, it says, what calculation would need to be done to solve the following equation? Do you divide both sides by 3? That's actually the right one, because this says 3 times x equals 27. What will undo multiplication? Division. And you want to get rid of the 3. So you divide both sides by 3. Now let's look at number 11. 9 friends went to the movie. Each person bought a movie ticket. The total that the 9 friends spent on the tickets was $102. Which equation can be used to find the cost of each ticket? All right, sometimes it's easier if you just write your equation and then see if it matches something up here. We know that we have 9 friends times the ticket equals $102. All right, so I'm going to say that x equals the ticket, 1 ticket cost. Okay, now you think, yeah, 9 times the price of a ticket equals 102. That is this choice right there. Because you know it's not going to be 9 plus 1 ticket's $102. Just say to yourself, that would be way too much for a ticket. This again would be way too much for a ticket for each person. This one, you just have to remember that X is going to be really big. It's going to be 900 and something, and that's not going to be the price for 1 ticket. Choice is there. Just ask yourself those questions. Now in number 12, it says, Tina earns $12 per hour at her job. Last week, Tina earned $432. Which equation can be used to determine the number of hours? So we're going to use H. Tina worked last week. Well, $12 an hour, and her total is $432. You know the total is going to be 42. What does 12 have to do to H to equal 432? Well, we know it's not going to be that one because it's our total. Is it hours plus 12? Oh no, then you're going to be working over 400 hours. Can't be that one. 12 divided by the hours, or 12 times the hours, that is the one it's going to be. 12 times your hours equals 432. It's not going to be 1/12 of an hour equals 432. That's not, that'll be like something in the tens of thousands. So this is your correct choice. 12 times the hours equals 432. All right, now we're going to figure out how many hours she worked. And that's one way. If your answer for part B is sort of crazy, you know your answer for part A is probably not right. So we chose 12 times H equals 432. Divide both sides by 12, and H equals 432 divided by 12. 36. Now that's a reasonable number of hours for a person to work in a week. So the answer is 36 hours. Okay? Now let's go to 13A. In 13A, Joe could play 25 songs on the piano. He bought new music. Now he can play 37 songs. Write an equation that represents the number of new songs that Joe learned. Well, I'm going to say the total, this is your total, is 37. So it's going to equal 37. This is going to be an addition equation. 25 plus n equals 37. I'm going to say n equals new songs. All right. Now to solve this equation, you subtract 25. And you end up with n equals 12 new songs. Now let's go back and read this question to make sure, does my answer make sense? Joe played 25. He bought new music. Now he can play 37 songs. Okay, 12 new songs. That makes sense. That's realistic. Yep. And 25 plus 12 equals 37. We're in good shape for this one. Now, oh, I answered part B in this, didn't I? Darn. It should have said, I need to read more carefully. Write an equation. So for 13A, my equation is this right here. That's all I had to write for 13A. My answer to 13B is right here. It says this is the answer to 13A. So the answer will be n equals 12 new songs. All right, we've practiced this enough, so hopefully when we take the test, we won't make that same mistake. And here we write the answer, 12 new songs. Okay, now let's go to 14. Tim collected coins. He gave his brother Don 1/6 of his collection. If he gave him 13 coins, how many coins were in his collection? All right, so 1/6, Tim, so we have 1/6 of a number equals 13. So 1/6, that means his total coins equals 13. 1/6, and I'm going to say x equals his total coins. X equals total coins in his collection. Okay? Now, what does this question say? Let C represent, oh, I'm supposed to use a C. It tells you there. Place the steps in order to determine how many coins were in Tim's collection. All right, so one of my steps is on this page here. Okay, we practiced this yesterday. If you don't join my Zoom class, this might be a little confusing to you. So the one we're going to use, another way for this to be written is x over c. 1/6c is the same thing as x over c equals 13. That's step one. So with this one, that is step one. When you click on it, then it'll take it straight to step one here. Okay? Now, step 2 is going to be multiplying both sides of the equation by 6. This is step 2. So you click on it and it goes there. Then you end up with x equals 78. That is step 3. When you click on it, you choose step 3, and your final answer, this is step 4. It will go into that blank. So when you click on it, it goes to that blank there. All right? Now, we're ready for question 15. And on question number 15, it is a matching problem. And I want you to be very careful when you do these problems. All right? Match the following algebraic equation to the correct word sentence. These are very easy. You just have to be careful and read the numbers carefully. 6 less than a number is 58. Less than means to subtract. Which one of those shows subtraction? Well, it's this one. Do the numbers match up? N minus 6 equals 58? It does. The sum means add, of a number and 2 is 43. Well, I want to look for an adding one. It's this one or this one. Adding 2 equals 43. There we go. A number increased by 6 is 24. Increased is a plus sign. M plus 6 equals 24. The quotient, that's a division problem, of a number and 3 is 24. Now, a division problem can also have the bar. That or the bar. And this one, they're using the bar. Okay? N divided by 3 is 24. If nothing else, look for the 24. Next one, we have 7 times a number is 28. There's a 28 that says 7 times a number, and you match it there. I don't know if the answer choices move around a lot. I know they don't always stay in the same order, so just make sure your words match what's here. Don't say, oh, Mrs. Robertson's at the bottom and the answer's at the top. Make sure that the words match what it says. All right, that's your test, kids. Your test is going to look like this. Good luck on your test tomorrow. Have a good day.